Hello, a really, really warm welcome to this introduction to mindfulness session. My name is Emily. I am the education lead at Evolve Teaching Institute, which is a local wellness initiative in St. John's, Newfoundland. My background is in mindfulness-based interventions. I have a master's degree in using mindfulness as a therapeutic tool for managing stress, anxiety, general unpleasantness. and so Today, what I would hope you get out of this session is an introduction to mindfulness, what it is, what it's not, and also an opportunity to try on a meditation practice together that I'll be guiding us through step by step. We'll take maybe 10 minutes to chat and then 5 minutes or so at the end to really try on the meditation practice together. So just to take some time as we settle in here, I'd even really invite you for this small space of time that we have together to find a comfortable seated position or even lying down. Even just as I'm chatting, it's nice that we kind of intentionally bring awareness to the body as best we can. So feeling free to take some time here to get settled in. Sometimes we can be unnecessarily contracted, holding, embracing. And so just an opportunity to get the blanket or to get cozy and to settle in together as best we can. And so just to talk a little bit about mindfulness, it's really, you might be hearing it more and more, just be mindful. Or it's become a little bit of maybe a buzzword. And I think oftentimes, it's misused. And so I want to start by clarifying what mindfulness actually means. And for the purposes of our work together, it's very simple. And I think in most contexts is actually quite simple. It's noticing kind of what's going on in our inner world. Okay, so what's going on in my body? What sensations are here? What's my mood, or how is my heart? What's my emotional weather today? Noticing what our mind is doing. Yeah, noticing what thoughts are here. Noticing what's going on around us in the world, where I am. I'm sitting on this chair in my office right now. And then choosing our behavior. Okay, so simple, but yet hard to do, actually. So noticing what's going on in this moment in my own body, heart, and mind, what's going on in this moment around me in my environment, and then allowing that kind of data, if you will, to inform what I do next. So mindfulness might be thought as the antidote or the opposite of automatic pilot mode. Automatic pilot mode is, and this might sound familiar to you, this mode that we spend a lot of our time in. That's not our fault, okay? We all do this. But it's almost like, you drive home from the shop or from work, and you just kind of end up in the driveway, and you don't really know how you got there. It's this kind of like, oh, how did I get here quality. And again, that's not our fault, and we all do this, but this is what I'm referring to with this automatic pilot mode, this kind of lack of awareness, not being aware of what's going on around me or in my body, heart, mind. And so in some ways, this is the opposite of mindfulness. So stepping out of automatic pilot mode is mindfulness. Noticing, oh, I'm driving home. Being here for the drive as best we can. Mindfulness is also not necessarily about clearing our mind or getting rid of our thoughts. I get that quite a bit in my work with clients. I'm not able to do mindfulness because I can't clear my mind, okay? You're not able to clear your mind. No one is. This is actually impossible, okay? Minds think. That's what minds do. And if we go into this expecting to be able to clear our minds, we're going to be sadly mistaken when we realize that that's impossible. Or we end up thinking that, oh, that's for other people, that's not for me, I'm not able to do it. So, good news is it's not about clearing your mind, okay? Mindfulness is about noticing our thinking, right? As I mentioned, knowing what's going on in our mind is mindfulness. We might be noticing there's racing thoughts. We might be noticing there's thoughts about the future or the past. We might notice that I'm thinking about the worst case scenario. But we just notice that, okay? So, oh, I notice that I'm thinking about the worst case scenario, catastrophizing, and that's just my mind trying to keep me safe, right? I imagine the worst case scenario so that, I can prepare for it so I can be safe. So our mind is actually, the intention of the mind is always for survival. It's always trying to keep us safe. So it has a good intention, but as we know, we can get in our own ways sometimes, right? It's hard to catastrophize and to imagine the worst case scenario all the time because we're living in a it's like it's happening all of the time then, right? And so we notice what the mind is doing with mindfulness, and as best we can, not judging, okay? I don't choose my thoughts, right? The thoughts are just happening, kind of like weather, and they're coming and going. And then when I notice the thinking, I have an opportunity to come back. So I can go, okay, I'm thinking about the future. Maybe I come back to this moment and I just feel my 2 feet on the floor, my bum in this chair, and maybe I take a deep breath. But I come back to my body, to this breath, to this moment again and again. So practicing mindfulness is about noticing thinking and then returning the awareness again and again. That might happen, 100 times in 10 minutes. This going away, the thought comes in, I come back to my breath or the body. And so when we're actually in the practice of meditating, which is, this way that we cultivate mindfulness, we strengthen this mindfulness muscle. That's what we're doing, right? We notice a thought come in, we get pulled away, we go, oh, I'm thinking, okay, thanks, mind, but coming back to the breath. And each time we return the awareness, you might think of this like a rep, at the gym. It's like we have to train the muscle of going away and coming back. And each time we do that, we're strengthening that muscle. What is this, bicep curl or something? Yeah, it's like this. It's like the mind is like a muscle like any other muscle in the body, and we can train it, but it does take effort. It takes time and energy to pay attention and to do something differently by coming back again and again. But each time we do it, just like training any other muscle, it gets easier. So yeah, so that's what we're doing in meditation practice, and that's how we cultivate this quality of mindfulness. The other thing is, mindfulness isn't about relaxing. Some people say, oh, I can't do mindfulness because I'm too stressed. Okay, mindfulness isn't about being calm. That's a common misconception as well. Mindfulness, as I said in the beginning, is noticing what's going on in this moment, just as it is, without judging it as best we can, okay? So if I notice I'm stressed today, great. Noticing what stress is like. How do I experience stress? Is it in my body? Do I notice I'm stressed because my mind is racing? Is it like an emotional experience of being overwhelmed? So we get curious about the experience, the good, the bad, the ugly. Okay, mindfulness isn't about being warm and fuzzy butterflies and baby kittens. It's about noticing what's here as it is. And oftentimes what's here is unpleasantness. This is our human experience. Some people say it's the 10,000 joys and 10,000 sorrows of being a human, and in mindfulness, we meet, oh, I'm happy and excited. Great. How do I experience that? What's going on in my body by way of sensation? Oh, maybe there's a fluttering in my chest. Maybe there's a smile on my face. Okay, great. So I noticed that. If I'm noticing sadness, okay, what's sadness like? You know what? I'm noticing frustration. Okay, we meet frustrated Emily today. So we just meet whatever is arising with curiosity and kindness, as long as it feels safe and okay. The last point I'll make is that mindfulness is not about white knuckling into trauma or into overwhelm or into really intense emotional states. Mindfulness is about discernment, it's about doing the skillful thing. Sometimes sitting down and just focusing on the body when we're really upset, for example, might not be the best thing to do. You know, maybe we need to go for a walk or distract ourselves in some way. Equally mindfulness, but we choose it. Okay, so it's not the same as this automatic pilot mode driving home, not knowing how we got there. But we might choose to not focus directly on, sensations of stabbing or pins and needles. We're not going into pain or trauma, but rather some mild unpleasantness. Okay, we'll meet that with curiosity. So let's say on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being absolutely overwhelmed, hysterical. Um, in mindfulness, when we talk about unpleasantness, we're working with, a 3 and a 4 often in meditation practice. So always discerning and choosing what's needed. And if anything is feeling too much, please do something else. Okay, that's the mindful response, not to just go on with it because I said so. So I'm talking a lot, and I hope that all makes sense. Um, I want to invite us to try this out because, in theory, it's all good. Oh, yeah, that makes sense, Emily. Maybe you're thinking, right? Um, but unless we actually do the practice, it's like I could explain to you all day how to swim. You read every book on swimming, you understand all the theory and the physics of how to swim, but until you get in the water, you don't really know how to swim. And so mindfulness is also like that, in that, yeah, we have the theory and the framework and the understanding of the concept of what it means to be mindful, but it's in the actual act of practicing meditation or mindfulness in some other form that we get to actually strengthen that muscle. So for the last 5 minutes or so here, I'm going to invite us into a practice together that this practice should, it'll be brief, and the intention is for it to focus on grounding. So this practice can be helpful when we're feeling, what is this, away in the clouds or with many thoughts. The focus of this practice is really to ground again and again back into this present moment. So it can be helpful for feeling a little bit wobbly. So let's take a moment here just to settle into our seat. We can close the eyes down if we wish, or also an option just to lower the gaze towards the floor, keeping a soft gaze, not focusing on the screen perhaps, and just allowing the eyes to soften. Just letting these eyes know that we don't need them for the next few minutes here. We even just take a couple deeper, more intentional breaths just as we kind of invite this slowing down together. And in our own time, allowing the breathing to return to its natural rhythm. And so, wherever we are, whether we're sitting or we're lying down, however we've arranged ourselves, just taking a moment to kind of feel the sensations of the body sitting or lying down. Maybe we just start to notice the physical sensations of contact. Maybe it's the feet on the floor if we're sitting in a chair. Backs of the thighs, the sit bones. the weight of the body here. The hands can be in the lap or in each other or wherever they are is okay. I'm probably already noticing what the mind is doing now, giving commentary on, oh, this is strange, or am I doing this right? Or, yeah, it's okay. Just allowing all of that to come and go as best we can and just returning the awareness. Oh, yeah, coming back to the guidance, feeling the feet on the floor or parts of the feet, wherever they are in contact with the support. Feeling the weight of the body at the sit bones, perhaps. The contact of the hands, wherever they are. And just allowing the body to be heavy as best we can. Oftentimes, we can be unnecessarily holding and bracing against the support. So, opportunity here just to soften. Maybe bringing shoulders away from the ears. We can even give shoulders a little wiggle if we want. Just inviting them to soften down the back. And noticing how the head is balanced on the neck. Tuck the chin a little bit, or just finding a place where the head can be balanced. Allowing a gap between upper teeth and lower teeth. Inviting the tongue to come away from the roof of the mouth. And the jaw to soften. Softening all these little muscles of the cheeks and around the eyes, the eyebrows, and the forehead. And whenever we notice the thoughts coming in and taking us away, the to-do list, the analysis, the judging, again, no big deal. That's just what minds do, but I just return the awareness, coming back to feeling the contact at the feet, the seat, and the hands. If eyes were closed, just blinking eyes open in our own time, wiggling fingers and toes, maybe inviting some movement back into the body. Yeah, thank you so much for taking this time to try something out today with me and to learn a little bit about, yeah, what mindfulness is. Um, I hope to see you again soon. Bye.